have a gentleman. He just performed at the in La Jolla at the Comedy Store. He is America's favorite dad. He is our headliner. Yes, it's Mike Hughes. Give it up for Mike Hughes.
America's favorite dad, yes. I figured Bob Saget's not using that anymore. Just trying to gauge where you're at. You're going to freaking hate my school shooting joke. It's you guys. There's not one mask in the place. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yes. Orange County. Orange County is like the Texas of California. Who here had COVID? I had COVID. I think I had it twice. Yeah, a lot of you guys. It was brutal. Were you tired? Yeah, the tired is all. I'm like, all right, I'm going to take 5-hour energy. So I nothing, didn't get anything, and no energy. So I'm going to double up on it. I'm going to get 10 hours of energy. Still nothing. Finally found this stuff, 48-hour energy. You heard of it? Maybe you heard of its other name, methamphetamines. Great. Anybody here put a little COVID weight on? Yeah, I did. I got some man boobs. I didn't know I had man boobs. My daughter was kind enough to point that out to me. She reposts this photo, like for Christmas photo, and she had drawn like man boobs on all of my pictures on the phone that I pay for. So I got her back. I called AT&T and I said, hey, can you change my my daughter's caller ID to spam risk? Nobody's calling me back anymore, Dad. It's all right, spammy. It's all right. I had this buddy on my hockey team, Andrew, and he's like, Mike, you want to lose some weight, do yoga. I think Bob was talking about doing yoga. And he said, not only that, go to my class, because the women in that class, it's like a smoke show. And I'm thinking, Andrew, I just, want to lose my man boobs, not my wife and my man boobs. And it's expensive. So I found this cheaper yoga, goat yoga. Have you heard of goat yoga? Yes! It's a real thing. Like these goats, they're trained to get on your back and help you stretch out. And it's great. And the goats stink. So unlike regular yoga, I don't have to hold in a fart for 45 minutes. So let them rip in goat yoga. I've been married 32 years. Thank you. It's a long time. My wife looked at me the other day and she said, are you even listening to me? And I thought, that's a weird way to start a conversation. Marriages work. I joined this thing called Marriage 365, and they send you like motivational quotes and inspirational messages, and they'll send you things like, do you know your partner's love language? Delete. But they had this one recently. It was called the 7-Day Challenge. So what do you think? For 7 straight days, what do? Have sex. Yes, you have sex for 7. As many married people in this room that I heard, and nobody answered that question. You have sex for 7. And my parents didn't raise me to be a quitter, and I'm not. And usually I'm not the kind of guy that kisses and tell, but I want to tell you guys, day 1's in the books. Thank you. Unfortunately, when I told my wife, she's not so much on board. So in order to save my marriage, I need 6 volunteers to help me get through the next 6 days. Come on, male, female. Not one, Orange County. Yeah. Anybody have any idea what the average number of words that a woman speaks in a day? I mean, you're married, right? Yeah. What do you say? What do you think the answer is, sir? What's your first name? John, what do you think the average number of words that a woman speaks in a day? 1 to 1,000,000. You're saying 1,000,000? We're going to pray for poor John. He can't even get one word out. No, it's 12,000, John. 12,000 is the average number of words a woman speaks in a day. And I got a daughter, so that's like 24,000 words coming my way. And she's got this boyfriend now, Nate. And someone said, what do you like about the boyfriend? And I'm like, you know, it's not him sitting in the driveway vaping for 3 hours, but Nate's a good listener. So that's like 6,000 less words coming my way. I love the guy. Yeah. I got, let's see, I got 3 kids. And unlike, you know, I really do have 3 kids, unlike Freddie, who's got 3 kids and the other. But, you know, they're not cute blonde kids living, and they're like 3 eating, sleeping, farting millennials living in my house. Anybody here middle children, by the way? You are. John knows this already, but your brains don't work normal, middle children. Like, I saw that, like, my son, like, at an early age I saw this. And when he was 18, he finally got his driver's license. He's a super cautious kid. He's never been in an accident. A lot of cars behind him have. He told me he wanted to go to Bible college. I'm like, sweet, that's going to save me so much money because you only got to buy 1 book. He's now got a job. He's in San Clemente. He's an assistant to the assistant pastor. So he's pulling in a solid 4 figures a year. I told that joke and I looked at him and I see him in the back of the room and he's going. It's Bible school business education at work right there. See, my oldest, he just had a kid, which makes me a granddad. I got a 8-month-old grandbaby, and I was over there not too long ago, and I'm like, I want to feed him. What's he eating? And my daughter-in-law, she's like, he's eating bananas. I'm like, sweet, let me feed him bananas. So she takes a banana, true story, takes a banana, puts it in her mouth, starts chewing it up. You know where I'm going with this. Chews it up, spits it into a cup, and hands me a spoon. It's disgusting. I'm like, I can't wait till this kid's 14 and I tell him the story. And then I started, you know, reading up on it. Evidently, in your saliva's got antibodies, and they don't want to neglect the kids. And so I started thinking, you know, maybe I neglected my 3 kids. So I was eating a double-double for a minute now today, and I took a mouthful and shoved it in Mitch's mouth. There. Making up for lost time, son. My son, my middle son, getting back, he's got this awesome handlebar mustache. Anybody ever try to grow a handlebar mustache? You have? Yeah, he points to his wife and says she has. That'll be a fun car ride home. Can't wait to see that. But it's like the only acceptable compliment that a dude can give another dude. Like my son says, Dad, I get like 5 compliments a day from other guys. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, I was on the freeway today. This guy's like, hey man, roll your window down. He's like, yeah? Awesome mustache, man. And I'm like, Mark, I don't believe you. You know, so for Father's Day last year, by the way, it's Father's Day tomorrow. But last year, I took my son to a bar. I'm like, I got to see this for real. And sure enough, he got 7 compliments on the handlebar mustache. I got 2 compliments for being the dad of the guy with the awesome mustache. Granted, it was a gay bar, so. See, my daughter, when I started telling, my daughter said, Dad, if you tell that joke, just don't tell people I go to Saddleback Community College. So she goes to this nondescript college down the road. And this really happened. They get crushed. She's playing on their beach volleyball team. They get crushed by this team from San Diego. And the other team had a transgender player on the other team. And I'm not like taking a stand one way or another on this, but I will say that girl could hit the ball like she's been trapped in a man's body for 20 years. And was freaking pissed about it too, but I'm from Cleveland. My dad's motto was, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. So that's what I told her. Of course, a lot of kids died in Cleveland growing up. We heard Spirit Airlines mentioned. I didn't realize what a crappy town I was from till I had to fly back there for a wedding, and Spirit Airlines proves it. Like if you're from Youngstown or Des Moines, Iowa, or Cleveland, $19 to get there for a hot weekend, but to get the hell out was $379. Me and LeBron James left Cleveland for California. Pursue our dreams. LeBron makes $498,000 a game. I drove to Chula Vista last week, made $15. So we're living the dream, right, Tom? Yes. I can't even afford a one-way ticket to Cleveland, Tom. That's all right. See, you can't pick your kids' friends, but my son had this one kid, Trevor. I love Trevor to death, like my own kid. But he's a little bit different, not good different, not bad different, just different. Like you know the acronym LGBTQ? I knew he was going to be one of those capital letters, I just didn't know which one. And then I overheard him in the car, and he was talking like he what would be like to make out with his teacher. I'm like, all right, so that's where Trevor's at. He's thinking about kissing his teacher. And then I remembered Trevor's homeschooled. There's no capital letter for that. Had a relative call me and asked if I could pick up the ashes of his great aunt. She was like in her late 90s, and she's like 1,000 miles away. And I'm like, I don't want to fly 1,000 miles away to scatter the ashes. And I'm like, besides, Aunt Helen's not going to know where she's scattered anyways. I'm not saying I did that, but I started looking up. Do you guys know the most popular place in Orange County that people scatter ashes? Disneyland. Unbelievable. People smuggle them into Disneyland and scatter them. And I started thinking about you can make kind of a nice day out of it, right? I'm not admitting guilt, but like if you're on Space Mountain anytime soon, and you get hit with a waft of space dust, that's probably Aunt Helen. Right? You guys have been great. My name's Mike Hughes. Give it back to our host with the most, Janet Stewart.